Hey, my name is Dennis Stanley with Chantel's Cakes and Pastries. I'm the owner of here in Sterling, Virginia. I've been in business on my own as a business now for about 21 years. The business started as a hobby, so I took my hobby and turned it into a full-time job. What makes Chantel's is a little bit different from a lot of the other bakeries in the area. We started listening to a lot of our clients. A lot of our clients will start asking for certain types of stuff or food that a lot of other bakeries didn't want to touch, such as they no egg, no dairy, no soy, no flour, no sugar, and now even no food coloring. As I started listening to a lot of our clients ask for these things, I said, well, maybe there's a niche on the market for it. So we started doing one client, and it was like one client a month maybe. And then as the word started spreading from one client to another, then more clients started asking for it. So we decided that we will start customizing a lot of our cakes to cater to a lot of clients that had food allergies. I could put you a cake on the table that has no flour on it, with flour on it, that a cake you can have you blindfold, you wouldn't know the difference. When it comes to cross-contamination, nut is the most severe allergy that someone can have, because I could eat a nut and I could touch you if you had a nut allergy, and it could make you sick. So by listening to a lot of our clients talk about allergies, we pay very close attention to the allergy cakes. What made us become more and more sensitive to a lot of that when clients come in to tell us, if your child had a nut allergy or an egg allergy or whatever the allergy may be, if another parent was bringing something to school and they know your child has a dairy allergy, for an example, before the cake comes to school, they will take your child out, send them to the library, or send them to the cafeteria, and they give them something else to do, and they missed all the fun from the party. So a child that's 5 or 6 years old, it's not their fault that they have a food allergy, whatever the allergy may be. So you don't want to feel like they're the victim, that they got to suffer because of the allergy. So when a lot of clients do call us up and you hear those horror stories about the kid went to the library or the classroom or somewhere else other than the party and they left out. So we started catering to a lot of those clients that where if a child has an egg allergy and we can give them a no egg cake, they can still participate in the party. Sometimes we get bathroom calls and we get closet calls, but they're not exactly what you think. They're calling from the bathroom or whatever. What happens is a lot of times if your child goes to a birthday party and you didn't check ahead of schedule, you know your child has a nut allergy or whatever the food allergy is, you may be the parent that's hosting the party and you will say, well, my cake is nut-free or egg-free, but to be 100% sure, sometimes a client may say, well, okay, excuse me, can I go to the bathroom, use the restroom? Or they may go to the closet or whatever they closest room in the house so they can close the door. And then we get phone calls, and you can tell that someone is in an enclosed area by the sound behind them, because you can hear sound in the distance. So they're calling because the client said that my cake came from Chantel's. So they're calling us to be 100% sure before they put something in that child's mouth. So she was calling this to be 100% sure that that cake that was on that table was nut-free, so when the kids come in, she can be confident to say that cake is nut-free. So those are the kind of things that make a good day. We had a little 1-year-old, a 3-year-old. I'm not quite sure what the age of the child was when he came to get his birthday cake. He knew he had food allergies. His mother have already conditioned him that he cannot have birthday cake when he go to birthday parties. So his birthday was coming up, and this mother searched and searched and searched because she didn't want her son to have a birthday party and he could just look at a cake, and his head as a 3 or 4-year-old knew that he couldn't eat cake. That little kid came in with us, ordered the birthday cake. We made a picture of his cake, a black and white copy of the cake. This little kid had that picture of his cake for 30 days out because the mother started searching for it. She said when I went to deliver the cake to him, he slept with that picture for 30 days because he knew at the end of 30 days that he would have cake for the first time. So that's why it matters. It feels good to when you can look at a client or look at a child and know that they're going to enjoy something, and then they don't have to get left out and just eat some fruit. That they're getting something they want. They can enjoy. And again, kids don't know why they got the allergies. A lot of us don't know why they have the allergies, but it's not their fault that they have an allergy. A lot of my adult clients have gone from childhood to adult having food allergies, either egg or dairy or gluten allergy. When they go to the doctor will give them indigestion medicine. and it would just cover up the food allergy. And they kept getting sicker and sicker and sick until they realized that they would get off these things, and then they would introduce themselves back to it one by one. And then they found out they had a food allergy. And the doctors didn't know. The best days are when a client walks in the door, and we have some bumps in the road, even on a good day or worst day. But some of the best days will be like a phone call we just got a few minutes ago. We just delivered 3 cakes to another client. We do a lot of cakes for other companies that are around the area. We do a lot of party cakes where clients don't necessarily talk to me about their cakes. So when a client can call me and you go to somewhere and the kids are coming to the party and that kid now can enjoy some of the cake. A good day would be when a client comes in to get her cake, and we may go above and beyond what they expect for the cake to put a little extra into it. A worst day would be when you don't want to tell a client no, because they may have a party that they forgot to order a cake for. And so we try to put one more cake on, and we look at our schedule and we can get that cake in according to our schedule. So we sent some cakes to Oprah. So we did do some cakes for her. One of my customers' daughter went on Oprah's show, and he wanted to thank Oprah for having his daughter on the show. So I said, homeboy, don't worry about it. Give me the phone number and all the particulars. This cake is on me. Oprah did her show where she was going across the country doing bakeries and tasting cake. And I said, my cake is going to Oprah. We froze the cake, and we put it in a styrofoam container, and we go to Dulles Airport, and we ship the cakes out at 10 o'clock at night. If they're in a residential area, then they will get the cake before 9, 10 o'clock the next morning. If they're in a rural area, then they don't guarantee the time. So we do a lot of shipping cakes across the country for at least people that have food allergy or even that don't have food allergy. We have cakes going to Hawaii. I do a lot of shipping up and down the East Coast. I went as far as Washington State. So we've had cakes for all over the United States. But see, a lot of my celebrity cakes I don't know I've done them until after the fact. President Obama's daughter, Sasha, has one of my cakes that was flew on Air Force One out to California for her birthday party because she was on tour with him, and President Obama wanted her to have a cake. So they took the cake from here on Air Force One to California with that. And when doing cakes like that, the cake has to go from point A to point B. It's like when they picked up the cake, we had to sign the cake off and give it to security. So security would take the cake from point A to point B. And another famous person we did a cake for was when President Obama became president and President Bush was leaving. The cake that went back with President Bush when he had his farewell party back to Texas was our cake. But again, we don't know a lot of that up front, and because with security, they don't want to make sure someone gets sick. So we find out these things after the fact. I would say if this show becomes to the next level, the next one would be, I would want it to be something where when the parent or whoever's sitting in the television room, because we're going into their world, and they sing a show, whether it is an allergy cake or no allergy cake, that when they put their cake on the table, it was made just for them. If we do a show, or I would love to do a show, I would want it to be different. I wouldn't want to do a show where it's just repetitious from what someone else is doing. I would want to do a show where it's more like an educational show, where a lot of clients that have food allergies, or even if it's not a food allergy, if we teach someone how to do something, even eat healthy, to live longer, it's cakes and pastries that matter. Yes, it's the love that we put into it and the love that we get back from clients.
And there's your cake.
Your special occasion.